Alright guys, Paul back here again for a brand new video. A little bit of an impromptu one, but kind of exciting news I think in the belt world. It seems as though the first images of the official AEW replica have actually leaked online. So these have been going around the Facebook groups this morning, last night. I was sent a photo of what was rumoured to be the AEW replica a few weeks ago, and I was pretty sure it was false. It wasn't either of these photos, so I'm still unsure about that. But these two photos that I'll put up on screen are what are currently, at the time of me filming this, what are doing the rounds on the Facebook groups. And it looks legit, and it looks very good. The first photo is a kind of close-up shot, as you'll see, of the plates, and then the second one is of the back of the belt, which shows the screws are all exposed on the rear of the belt, as well as an official AEW patch on the back of the simulated leather strap. So, I mean, that's pretty much all the confirmation you need. The stitching around the border on the front photo is another dead giveaway. Obviously, WWE, if you've seen their recent replicas, are doing away with the stitching, but this one, it'll be, I'm assuming it's Figures Inc. The patch on the back is too difficult to read. If it's not Figures Inc., it will all still be in the same factory as WWE belts are made, as the ROH belts, the Figures Inc. belts. It'll all be made in the same place. So the quality of this is expected, and by the look of it, it does look very similar to the most recent WWE replicas. Maybe not the Winged Eagle that was released the other night, but more so the US, the 2020 US and the 2020 Undisputed, or the 2019 Oval IC. So the detail on the belt looks fantastic, to be honest, which I think we were all kind of expecting. We'd be very disappointed if it was a subpar replica. This whole time I had my hopes that it would be very similar to the IWGP V4 replica. I've only re-leathered one or two of those in the past, but it is a phenomenal replica, and if the AEW belt comes anywhere close to that thing, then it's going to be outstanding, honestly. The detail on the plates looks fantastic. It does have the imitation layers, whether they are actually screwed together independent pieces similar to what the NXT Heavyweight belt is. The X on that belt comes off, or if it's similar to other stacked belts like the 2020 US, where it's all just one big mold with different layers molded into the belt. But honestly, it looks fantastic. The depth of the detail looks really nice. The stones themselves look quite good, but I'm a little bit concerned because the UFC replica belts, the V3 UFC replicas, do I have? No, there's not one here. Yeah, the V3 UFC replicas and a few other more recent replicas they've not been using the plastic stones like old replica belts did. They've been using glass stones, but they've not been proper crystals. They've not been like high quality Swarovskis, or they've not been cubic zirconia stones. But I'm looking forward to seeing one of these AEW replicas. The stones all look on point. Like I say, I'm not sure if they are the glass replica stones or if they will be plastic. I'm hoping they'll be plastic because I'm going to be removing them either way from the first one of these I get in hand. But the detail looks good. You can see the different layers of the plate being... They don't look like they're separate plates attached together. They might very well be. They could be. But the detail of the plates is there. The levels of plates is there. The layers is all there by the look of it. And again, I'm basing this off of one photo. It's very difficult to get a complete grasp of a belt from just a gallery of photos, let alone just one leaked photo and one at the back, which I'm not really counting because... I mean, from the back, we can see that on the photo from the back here, the center plate has only 6 screws on it. Given the size of the center plate and the weight, presumably, because of how many layers, I would have hoped it would probably... this is a minor issue. I would have hoped it would have maybe a few more screws on just the back of the center plate, because it is the IWGP. I'll keep going back to that because that's probably the most similar replica to this. That had a lot of screws on the back because it was a very heavy replica, because... again, it had all those layers. The AEW belt, the real one at least, has the same amount of layers, and it is an exceptionally heavy belt. So that would be probably my only minor concern, is there might not be enough screws for it to withstand heavy handling, or if it's being thrown about. But you probably shouldn't be doing that with your very expensive display toy anyway. So unless you're Steve Austin, but I think that's pretty much all there is to talk about this belt. Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think of this belt? Are you looking at picking this up? Because I will definitely be getting one of these as soon as it is officially released. It's looking really good. The detail on the logo as well, the stones behind the logo, kind of top and bottom of the logo, that triangle either side of the logo looks really good, honestly. The floral detail between all the stones on the center plate, it's there. It's looking like a really detailed, high quality replica, which a little bit of a relief, to be honest, because this whole time since the belt was initially unveiled, the hope was always there that it would match the IWGP belt, which is kind of what this was aiming to do as a belt in itself. But the hope was that it would replicate the quality of the IWGP replica, which by the single photo, it looks like it's very close to doing. So I'm very impressed. I'm certainly happy that this looks a lot higher quality than the Winged Eagle that was released the other night on WWE Shop, which people have been saying that I was shitting all over that. Just to be clear, I like it. It's a vast improvement over the belt that has been more recently sold. My only point in that video was it's nowhere near as good as it could have been. And given how good the Undisputed V2 was, given how good the US 2020 was, the Brahma Bowl belt, even the 2019 IC, given how good all of those belts were, the Winged Eagle is nowhere near the quality of those. And that was my biggest complaint. I certainly still think it's a very good belt. It looks like a good improvement over the previous version. But given the Master Series that was made 10 years ago is so much better, that's my disappointment. It's not shitting on the improvements they've made. They've definitely made improvements. But my point was, given what they've been doing with a lot of belts recently, my hope was that for their most popular belt, they would go all out and make it as good as possible, and make it as good as the Undisputed, make it as good as the US. Unfortunately, they haven't. They might eventually. I'm not going to hold out hope for that now. My hope is mainly going to be that the 3D Big Gold re-release, when that comes out, rumored to be later this year, hopefully that thing looks good, because I've been waiting almost 2 decades for them to put out a good replica of that. But this was about the AEW replica, and yeah, my initial thoughts are very positive. It looks really good. But again, once there's more details, we can go over this in more depth. And once we have it in person, outstanding. It'll be great. But that being said, I hope this video was of any use. Who knows? I've just been rambling mostly. But if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Like I said earlier in the video, please let me know what you think of this belt, of the leaked photos. Let me know what you think. Will you be picking one up as well? The price point is not announced either. I would bet this is going to be high-end replica pricing. So if WWE belts are around $400 as standard, their upper tier belts I would be surprised if this was under $600. My guess would probably be $750. That might be way too high. It would be great if it would be a lot lower, but it seems like this is going to go along the same lines of the IWGP, which is a premium replica belt. I mean, that one's way overpriced. That one's several $1,000s, which, if you're willing to pay it, fair enough. But I think this one will probably be sold in less limited quantities than the IWGP belt, so I would hope that it's a far lower price than that, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that being said, I've rambled long enough. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Cheers.
Yo, monkeys, it's me, DDP. And if you want to get one of the greatest belts made for you, go to Paulmartinbelts. That's right, sucker.